I like TF2 skins. If this wasn't obvious because of my now very outdated videos talking about them, well, guess what? You know now. I've been an avid connoisseur of TF2 skins since day one of their release back in the Gunmetal update in 2015. Oh, Zesty's going on 4.5-hour rant about how he likes skins. Oh, it's the whole fucking history. Here we go. Yeah, yada yada. Shut up, no one cares. But a long time has passed since 2015 and now. Now, nearly 5 years after the initial release of skins, we've had the Gunmetal update, the Tough Break update, Jungle Inferno, a Scream Fortress update, and 2 Smithmas updates that have all added more skins and war paints into the game, but just not enough for my liking. Unfortunately, my main dealer, that is Valve, has been off and away working on other things, so I've had to go to other sources to get my fix, so to speak. Thankfully, one day, my buddy Alex had something pretty cool to show me. He said,
"Hey, did you know that there are a whole bunch of unused textures in the TF2 files, including skins?"
And I was like, what? No way! And he said,
"Yes way!"
and sent me this. I was so hideously puzzled by what I was looking at. It was just a big square image file with a bunch of zigzags. Now, I did some research on how texture files work in game, and that cleared up some of the smoke, and then I wondered, how would have these actually looked in game? So I went back to my buddy Alex and said,
Hey, Alex!
What do you want, Derek?
Wait, can you share?
Derek!
If curiosity happens to get the better of you like it did for me, to where you set aside the vast majority of a week to dig through all of TF2's files on your computer, you will come across a lot of unused content, including models, sounds, voice lines, images, texture files, what have you. There is a lot to explore. Now, I've sifted through all of TF2's unused skin texture files and applied them to weapon models in game so that I could get a good look at them. Believe me, there are a lot of them, so I only selected the ones that I consider as the best looking candidates for potential skins. If I went through every single one, we would be here all damn day. And sadly, not all of them look so great, so I kind of just scrapped those out. So what you are about to see are Valve official, unused skins that were left buried within the game, never to see the light of day. Until now. I'm going to ease us into this by starting out with unused skins from the Concealed Killer Collection, which was released back in the Gunmetal update. The texture file for this first one is named Desert, and we get what's advertised. It's a bright tan and brown desert, stony, earthy camo pattern without any real strong tertiary components. And given its name, and that it's pretty bright for a TF2 texture, I can make the assumption that this was a predecessor to the Sand Cannon. Taking a look at it in game, and it's actually pretty fitting for the rocket launcher. I'm pretty bummed that this skin was left out, because I like it way more than the Sand Cannon. Plus, Desert Cannon just sounds cooler. Next up, we have one labeled as Dazzle, a pretty simple black and white stripe pattern with a silhouette of the spy and his head. This is an obvious predecessor to the Psychedelic Slugger Revolver, and after applying it in game, it really fits the weapon model. It doesn't look too bad actually, and it's not as much of an assault on the eyes as the raw texture file implies. Oddly enough, this is almost an exact copy of the Negev Dazzle skin from CSGO. Also, something interesting about the Psychedelic Slugger Revolver is that certain pattern orientations can reveal a bright green balloonicorn or TF2 logo. Also, fun fact, the Purple Range sniper rifle texture uses the same texture as the Psychedelic Slugger Revolver, except it's just recolored to be purple and there are no special stickers to speak of. Speaking of similar textures, here is an interesting one. The texture file for this one is called Stripes Green Multiply, which is almost the same name as the texture file used for the Forest Fire skins, which is just called Stripes Green. Except this one is zebra stripes, and it looks pretty similar to the Purple Range texture, except it's just black and white. Alright, look, the normal Forest Fire skin and the Forest Fire Mark II war paint are easily some of the ugliest fucking skins in the game. And looking at what they could have been, pisses me off. This version version looks amazing, both on the original skin and on the Mark II Warpaint. I think Valve didn't want to have two flamethrowers that looked almost identical, considering the bovine blazemaker from the Two Fort collection is just a black and white Holstein cow pattern, and if you put these two skins side by side, they pretty much look the same. Now, if I had to pick between the zebra pattern or the cow print, I would take the zebra pattern easily, even though there are some good opportunities for touch the cow, do it now jokes with the name tags, but I'll leave that to whatever you prefer. Moving on to the Powerhouse collection, and we only have one unused texture. Electric Blue. This is just the same lightning texture pattern that we see on the Pink Elephant, Flash Fryer, Current Event, Shell Shocker, and Thunderbolt, all of which are just recolors. Now, determining which of the weapon models that this blue version was supposed to go on isn't that difficult. It's a perfect match for the Shell Shocker. Why? This stupid little shit right here. Prior to me digging through all of these game files, I had no idea why. For the longest time, why the dev team opted to make the Shell Shocker team colored by leaving the little sight on the end of the barrel as either red or blue. But finding this electric blue pattern has fully convinced me, without a shadow of a doubt, that this weapon was supposed to be fully team colored in the first place. However, no red variant exists for this texture, which leads me to believe that one of the other colors was going to be used, like yellow, because we already see that with the electroshocked warpaint. That, or they opted to go for green before making a red version, I'm not sure. Either way, I would have much preferred to see a fully team-colored version of this skin rather than the hideous alien green version that we got. Alright, the last collection that I'm going to look at is the Gentleman's Collection. Now, a bit of a disclaimer, there are a lot of unused textures from this one. Many of the skins in this collection use several separate texture files in order to add shaders, depth, varying brightness, etc. So many of the unused files are just gradients and simple details that really aren't worth looking at individually. Plus, given the complex nature of some of these skins, I couldn't get some of these texture files working in unison with other ones to get a complete final product to show you. So bear with me, I'm only showing the ones that I managed to figure out. Starting us off, there are several unused iterations of the Coffin Nail skin's main texture pattern. The general idea for these skins was to make them look like a cigarette, or a box of cigarettes, hence Coffin Nail. Some of these unused ones look really cool but bear striking resemblance to certain brands of cancer sticks, so I'm somewhat glad that they settled with the simpler patterns that are used in-game. Fun fact, by the way, despite you not being able to inspect team variants in the backpack viewer, all Coffin Nail skins are actually team colored. Up next, we have several unused Argyle patterns, in varying colors, that I think look really nice. Now, given that Argyle is a pretty snazzy and sleek pattern used for suits and ties, I suspect that they were initially going to use these on the Dress to Kill skins. In what form or fashion, I'm not entirely sure, but replacing the Brogue pattern on these skins makes it almost too obvious that these Argyle patterns were intended for them at some point. Another subtle detail that I think is worth noting that some might overlook is that most Dress to Kill and Coffin Nail skins have a unique class emblem, at least one for each class, except for the Medic or the Pyro. The Coffin Nail Medigun has no emblem, and the Dress to Kill Medigun uses the same emblem as the Heavy's miniguns, for some reason. However, the High Rollers Medigun does bear a unique Primum non nocere or Do No Harm emblem, so there is that at least. And no weapon displays a Pyro emblem at all. There is a unique Pyro emblem within the game files, but it remains unused. The shotgun and the pistol just use a simple TF logo emblem, since these weapons aren't class specific. By the way, every Dress to Kill skin is also team colored, something else that's not readily viewable within the backpack skin viewer. Alright, we are on the final set of unused skin textures, but this is where the really cool shit comes in, because these are unused variants of the top shelf skins. Now, the normal top shelf skins are a sleek black marble pattern with gold inlay, paisley detailing, and unique gold embossing or stickers for each weapon, except for the grenade launcher. But in the unused files, we have a white marble texture, which, by the way, is more common for natural marble stone, but black marble also does exist in nature. But on top of that, we have a whole host of unused paisley textures, each of which is just a recolored version of the main gold and yellow pattern. Fun fact, by the way, if you look inside of this paisley pattern, you can see all of the different class icons. Now, I played around with the texture files a little bit and found that the multicolored version of the paisley pattern fits the best with the white marble. And this is what we get. These look amazing on each of the top shelf skins. I'm really bummed out that they opted to go with the black marble texture instead of the white. They're super bright, super sleek, and super flashy. The minigun looks amazing with its gold detailing, especially along the barrel. The grenade launcher really brings out the paisley patterns too, but I think the revolver, the knife, and the wrench look the best with this white marble. There is a little bit less of that gold detailing and much more of that marble texture, which I think looks amazing. Not just because I'm a geologist, but hey, it looks really fucking cool. Not that the minigun and grenade launcher don't look amazing as well. And that's a wrap. I hope you enjoyed this slightly different video from me. I understand that it was like a wow, wacky weapon review. Let's piss them off in the comments by saying our wrong opinions, huh? This was a lot of fun for me to experiment with these unused skins, and it's inspired me to start playing with my own war paint ideas. I really enjoy collecting skins, and I have a lot of fun exploring the nuances and intricacies that each one has to offer. But enough of my drooling. Let me know what your favorite skin or war paint is in the comments below. I'm curious to see if other people like skins as much as I do. Thanks for watching, peace out, and I'll catch you next time. Have a decent enough to. Oh, I got unusual! Yes, baby! What the fuck? What's going on? Oh, what is my luck with this game? Did you see that? The rocket hit the top of my shield and it just deflected it in a random direction. That was weird. Hold on, I gotta save that.